Hello, happy Fri-YAY, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the new year. Welcome back to lives. I am super happy to be here with you all today. As you can see, I did not quite get my hair dried, but we're gonna let that happen. Hey, Alicia. So today I am really excited because I have a really fabulous guest joining us. As you all know, I believe social media is harmful. And I think that we have to set up, I call them grounding behaviors, before and after we go live in order to protect ourselves from being on social media. Hey, Elise. Elise, you're going to love my next guest. Her name is Daria and her company is A Life Aligned. Daria comes from a mind body yoga background. And she has this beautiful holistic approach to self-care. And so I'm very excited, hey Arvin, to have her here today. And I'm going to go ahead and bring her hair today that Daria has. Now, as Daria is coming on, I want you all to know she does have this beautiful group called the Self-Care Circle. And hey, Daria, I'm just mentioning your Self-Care Circle. The last day to join Daria's Self-Care Circle is on Sunday. So if you are looking for more beautiful ways to take care of yourself this year, this is your opportunity. Yay! So Daria, welcome. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you so much for reaching out and making this happen.
Yeah, we met a couple months ago in a podcasting group, and as soon as Daria said who she helps and what she does, I was like, can we please have a discussion?
It needs to be discussed.
It does. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how you came to this work?
Yeah. My yoga journey started seriously in 2018, and I had an eco-conscious lifestyle brand at that point in time. And I found myself just diving deep into my yoga practice, after the yoga teacher training that transforms everything. And the yoga that I'm interested in is yoga for healing and helping us be really grounded in our authenticity, especially in the world of social media. We really get pulled out of our bodies and get sucked into what everybody else is doing, how everyone else is showing up, and comparison really is the thief of joy. So yes. I had to
we just need to say that again. That was so beautiful. Comparison is the thief of joy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And yoga is a way for me to re-find myself and reclaim my authenticity and my place in the world and really start to grow my relationship with myself. So I'm trained in transforming trauma, which is a big part of these, behaviors that we get roped into that we don't want to be in, but it just happens. And as 2020 came and we all remember what we were doing. And at that moment, I decided I needed to not be doing this eco life thing anymore. That's still very much a part of my life, but I was really interested in can I actually help other people heal themselves or give them the tools to help them heal themselves in the way that I have, because that is going to reflect and ripple out and is really the root of, these problems that we got in the world, our environment and, violence.
As you're speaking and you're saying things connected to your authentic self, and I just find myself breathing deeper and feeling even more in who I am, just in sharing this space with you, because you have such a clear intent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so when we were brainstorming, we were thinking of, because I come to this from grounding habits and, I'm always interested in how can we talk about all subjects in relation to social media. So the topic of today changed a little bit, but we are going to be talking about Daria's 4 pillars of self-care. And Daria is going to walk these through things, and then I'm going to talk to you about how we can apply those to your social media practice. So here we go. And also, y'all, if you have any questions, obviously drop them in. Elise may also just want to steal you and talk to you as well. But we are here today.
Hi, Elise.
So cool.
So the very first thing that I walk all my clients through, the main thing that we're focusing on is grounding ourselves. And of course, you and I talked about that. And grounding, to me, my interpretation of grounding is actually like really connecting to our bodies, connecting to the earth, and connecting to like what is really inside. And in grounding, that's a place also where we can start to harmonize mind, body, and heart. So I just was doing some writing yesterday about how our human experience, in our human experience, we've been programmed to really operate and work from this mental place. And we think that this is the origin of ideas and innovation and wisdom, but really we're getting signals from our body all of the time, and that is where everything is actually coming from. And that just signals to the brain to be like, ding, 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 I got something for you. So when we ground ourselves and when we are harmonizing, have our mind, body, heart harmonized, we can much more easily receive these pieces of information and wisdom for our lives, and what is in alignment for our life and what's not for us. And it's a moment to reconnect after having input from, computers and screens and everybody else's opinion. So I think that is number one most important thing.
Yes, I love this. And there is so much knowledge. You'll feel something in the pit of your stomach, or, a little vibration. If you're this energy between me and this other human isn't feeling right. If you listen to those things, you can't go wrong. But so for grounding habits, I always recommend, because it is, when we are on social media, we are, and Daria, let me know if, you're still here. Okay, got it. When we're on social media, this platform has been trained to take over your brain. And it's trained, it is a very sophisticated system to make sure that your dopamine is being hit all of the time. And it is hard to get back into your body. And that's why you can have that crash after going on social media. And also while you can have that anxiety in moving into social media. And so I always recommend, if you're going to even mindfully making a cup of tea, feel the heat in your hands, smell the tea as it's steeping. I love to take a walk with my dogs. That's my favorite way to ground before and after all this stuff. But it is so important to get out of your head and back into your body as you do those transitions.
Yeah, I love all of those. And that really speaks to somatic experiencing, and somatics is really kind of a buzzword going around right now, but that really is just the best way to come back into the present moment. I mean, how many times have we opened up our phone and opened something and completely forgot what we came there for? So I love that, giving yourself a chance to ground and connect with your intention before taking an action. What a radical act of self-care.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
And Jacqueline, who's joining us, Jacqueline is also a fab business owner. So yay, hi.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Okay, so pillar number 2,
Number
what is it?
2. Yeah, so I'm going to say, I have like some notes here.
Yes, I'm taking notes as we're going too.
Yeah. It's really, I wrote integrating, but it's self-study and reflection. Okay. So after we've gotten grounded and we're in our body and we're feeling the things and we're smelling the things and we're checking in with ourselves, that's when we can like integrate the different parts of our lives. Like, how is my relationship? Like, what is the truth about this relationship that I'm in? What is the truth about my business? What is the truth about how I show up on social media, or like whatever, wherever you're showing up in the world? And like, is that in alignment with how I am now that I'm grounded and in my harmony? Like, what's up with that? So integrating our experiences and being able to, in yoga, it's called Fri-YAY, which is self-study. And this is like, I love a good journaling practice, just like stream of consciousness, see what's there and see, like, can I scrape this one layer off and see what's underneath that? Like, just to start.
Yeah. What's coming for me here is how we can adjust this to how we show up on social media. We get so caught up in the trends of what everybody else is doing. And when you just do something because everyone else is doing it, that's actually not bringing your unique voice into the world. And so if you're struggling to figure out what feels good to post on social media, do a grounding habit, and then use this integration, use this self-journaling and reflection to figure out what is that voice, that piece that you actually want to bring today to the world. Because look, I've talked a lot about how dangerous social media can be, but the whole thing of it is we have this platform that we can reach literally the entire world. And that is wild. That is incredible and mind-blowing to think that we can change people's perspectives if you bring your authentic self. So love this so much.
Yeah.
And I like the image of scraping off the outer layer.
Yeah. I mean, somebody that I'm working with right now, I'm coaching her. I'm like, make this process like a ritual for you, because you will enjoy the process more. You will cut through the noise and like get more, like, I have created my most potent offers and most beautiful copy by making this kind of a ritual, by doing a grounding practice and then doing just like stream of consciousness, writing exercises, and figuring out what it is that's like really coming through my authenticity. Yeah.
Okay, let's move to our third pillar.
Okay, I love this. Releasing. Releasing. So we have talked a lot about like being on social media and getting all this input and thinking we got to show up and be a certain way or look a certain way. And we have other people's like narratives and stories and ideas kind of like latched onto us. And we also get programmed in a way through our relationships, through our history, through our culture, our family, our society. And if we don't have a moment, or if we don't know how to process this, these energies can literally like stick in your body. I think you were talking earlier about like, you know, how do I know that this is me or this is them? And these energetic imprints can literally like get stuck in our bodies. And in traditional Chinese medicine, like, oh, I remember what I was going to say. Like there might be a phrase like, oh, I was sick with worry. Or like I'm out of my mind, or whatever. Like that's real. And that's basically basically like a kink in the hose, or like a clogged energetic channel. So in releasing, I love using like mind body centering yoga and meridian yoga therapy. These are like all body type inclusive practices that I teach. This is a way to physically release energetic and emotional stagnation in your body. So yeah, I can like
move it
go on a tangent, like down traditional Chinese medicine, but yeah, let me know your thoughts.
No, I love this so much. And I also, because I want to give people a way to use this feels, you know, when I talk about my grounding habits and how I bookend my days, how I bookend any time I spend on social media with these habits, is releasing, again, getting back into your body, or is it a separate exercise?
Yeah.
Not meaning like physical exercise, but a separate practice.
Yeah. I think that they're very similar, but like the yoga practice that I'm talking about is like pretty specific. Like we have these energetic channels in our body, and they all relate to organs, emotions, and there's like a physical energetic line that you can map. Like if you've ever been to the acupuncturist, or even just like on your self explored, where you have these tender points in your body. It's like if you kink a hose in one place, it's going to stop the water from coming out. So you get like jammed up in your right wrist or your right arm, and then you have got physical pain in your neck. So it's a way to help release physically like pain and literal stagnation in your body. But grounding is like an essential like prequel to that. Like you got to do the grounding to be in your body in order to feel and be able to like release and let go.
So what is a way we could give people to practice this today if they're like, oh, here's this thing, now I want to move on? And Stephanie has joined us. She's all about this yoga, so yay. Okay, so yeah, what is one simple thing someone can do if they feel like, okay, I've grounded, I've written, and now I need to release this like weird feeling that I have?
Yeah, perfect. So we're going to go back like to somatics. You can maybe close your eyes and ask yourself like, okay, I'm holding this weird thing that doesn't feel right in my mind's eye, and let me check like where in my body do I feel this sensation coming from? And then can I name any colors or shapes or like undertones that are associated with it, and basically breaking down that sensation to where it's neutral. And maybe thinking to yourself, can I remember the first time that I felt this? Like, what was going on in my life? The idea is that if you can name or like remember the original reason for that feeling, then you can say to yourself, oh, like I'm not in that situation anymore. I'm way over here now. So that was actually in the past.
Yeah.
And so that way you've got, in somatics, you have one foot in your feelings and you have one foot in the logic, which helps you to neutralize like that reactivity.
This is so joyful because your answer was your self-wisdom. Like, go into yourself, ask yourself how you're feeling. Like, we all know when we feel well and when we don't feel well. So to not have to look outside of yourself for this answer is beautiful. And obviously someone like you and your self-care circle that is open through Sunday if anybody wants to join, you know, like that teaches you more ways to create more wisdom in your own self. But I just love that we are being aware that we know how to take care of ourselves. So
that
cool.
That is really the whole reason why I wanted to create the self-care circle. Was I found a way to get out of my, like, to leave my anxiety behind and actually experience the present moment and not worry so far into the future. And I wanted to share these tools and yoga as medicine, not as some like skinny person doing some complicated pose online. Like, I'm just done with that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like that's not what it's
like. I'm
for.
not in Bali on a beach. I can't do that. So
no, it's so much deeper and so much richer and nourishing than it's being described on the internet. And so I think, you know, definitely one of my reasons for being here is to help bring more healing practices to people that they can do for themselves.
I love this. Yeah. Okay, before we share pillar number 4, I just want everybody to know exactly how to reach you. And if they're like this, you know, self-care circle sounds like something they are very, very interested in, that they know how to find out more information about that. So, and I will include those links below, but I also want Daria, you to just talk about it.
Yeah, thank you so much. If you go to my channel on Instagram, there's a link in my stories, there's a link in my bio, and my website is alifealigned.co. There's no M at the end, just .co. And yeah, sign up. Enrollment is now until Sunday at midnight.
And then if I'm like, ooh, this sounds great, like what am I getting when I join the self-care circle?
So it's 6 weeks of somatic immersion to help you learn to nourish and resource yourself in community with other people who are seeking peace inside and to like really cultivate that relationship with themselves. So I do like a combination. It's almost like being in a ritual. It's between 75 and 90 minutes. And we do yoga nidra, which is a sleep meditation, which is profoundly healing and a way to get a lot of rest in a short amount of time and scan your inner landscape. We do breathwork practices, which helps to clarify and focus your mind and get that mind, body, heart centering and alignment. And there's a journaling, there's always a journal prompt and opportunity for people to share. And we do, because like community and being seen and being witnessed and heard is such a big part of a healing journey and story. So I had to like make sure I called that forward. And we do some mind body centering yoga practices with acupressure. So yeah, if you've ever had acupuncture, this is like self-resourced. And yeah, again, to help like release energetic stagnation and like heal physical pain in your body. Yeah. So you're going to get all that in like this 75 to 90 minute session, and it's 6 weeks. I have a feeling that this will become like some kind of a membership in the future, because I have some other classes, and
you're going to get people addicted. People are going to be like, and I have this fabulous community and I feel so aligned. Yes. Well, I love it.
And like, there are people all over the world who, you know, in this COVID area, like we're connecting with people all over the globe. So after work, like doesn't work if you keep going east, you know, it just doesn't. So that's all very exciting. And I know like people sometimes they want a taste of this and they need a taste of that and a taste of this. And I have plans for like, you know, incorporating ecstatic dance and like all kinds of good juicy stuff. So,
I love it. Okay. So that is the self-care circle, and you have until Sunday to join. So now we're going to jump into the final pillar 4. Bring it to us. Yeah. How can we wrap up our self-care?
So this one is kind of like a catch-all of like personal practices that you can do. And I'm working on a new gift for my subscribers. And it's like a self-care journal. And in it, you have several different prompts. And they're like, how much water am I drinking? How am I nourishing myself?
Yeah.
What kind of media am I consuming? How much am I sleeping? What are my relationships like? So just kind of like these aspects of our lives where if we can just improve it like 5 or 10% more, like it can make a huge difference in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I can start going to bed 30 minutes earlier, I'm going to feel so much better when I wake up. Yeah. And just like that one little tweak is all you needed. So yeah, I'm excited to like finish creating that and share that with the world. Yeah.
So would we call this fourth pillar then like reflection?
I actually have reflection written down in my journal. Yeah.
No.
I think when I wrote it, I wasn't exactly sure what that meant, but yeah, as we were talking, I was like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, let's just check in with ourselves and see like how we're physically supporting ourselves on a day-to-day basis.
And that's such a good reminder, especially now when everyone's like, I'm going to work out every day and I'm going to only eat greens and I'm going to like all of these way radical things that I love you all, but I'm sorry you won't be able to keep. Like that's just such a strange way to jump into the new year. Mm-hmm. But these baby things, like I realized that I'd forgotten to meditate for months and months and months. And so when I was reviewing my year and kind of checking about when I felt good and what habits was I doing at that point, I was like, oh yeah, I remember when I used to wake up every day and meditate. That was nice. And so I didn't set like my, like, you know, I think I'd worked up to about 10 minutes a day, which isn't huge, but it was great for me. So I was like, I'm going to do 3 minutes a day. You know, that's like just a baby, just getting back into the habit. And of course, it's more than 3 minutes because, you know, once you sit down and you breathe, you're just having that peace and it's wonderful. Mm-hmm. But it's a baby practice that helps bring you into alignment, as you said.
Yeah. I'm so glad you mentioned that. People ask me all the time, like, I want to do yoga, but I just can't find the time. I'm like, set a timer for 5 minutes and just see what happens. Like, I love this, like, just baby steps. That's again like looking at somebody else's formula to inform us on how we should be doing something, and that's never going to work. That's like recipe for burnout, for not seeing it all the way through.
Yeah. So. And you don't know what that person's journey was. So this reminds me, last year about this time, I was preparing for my very first half marathon. And I onboarded around the same time a new OBM. And so when I shared with the team, hey, next week I'll be off for 2 days because I'm running a half marathon, she asked me later, she was like, did you just like decide to run a half marathon and do it? And I was like, oh my God, no. I have literally been preparing for this for 7 months. You know, and so from the outside looking in, she didn't know that I'd been, you know, starting from literally not being a runner and being like, I can run for 1 minute, you know, up to that point. So these weird ideas we have about what is expected of us without knowing the background, like, let's let that go and just take ourselves from where we are today and just be slightly our better selves tomorrow, better for ourselves, not better for anyone else.
That's making me think of like another pillar, which is self-compassion.
Oh, yeah.
And like, yeah, understanding that perfection is not in our capacity. Like, we need to just have compassion for ourselves to take baby steps and like, I talked about this a while ago, but like enjoying our process. Like, we, again, like going back to social media, we see people where they are in their journey and we don't know all the things that it took to get them there. And so like, your journey is really your life, and it's ever evolving and ever changing. And, the goalpost is going to keep moving and changing. And yeah, like having self-compassion and enjoying your process.
Totally.
So important. Yeah.
Well, I absolutely adore these pillars. I really like it. This is the process of social media, like starting from a space of like making sure you're who you really want to be, protecting yourself, reflecting, or what do we say? Grounding, integrating, releasing, and then reflection. And this is, like I said, this is so much of social media, especially this last reflection piece. If you don't like having to be on social media every single day, all the time, don't do it. Nobody is making you do that. You probably won't be an influencer, but that's probably not your goal if you don't actually like these platforms. However, they are such a powerful medium to reach out, and just like Daria is today, sharing your wisdom and knowledge with the world to make the world a better place. Daria, are there any last thoughts that you would like to share with us this morning? And I have one final question for you.
Yeah. No, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for tuning in and giving this a listen. And thank you so much, Lauren. I'm so glad that we made this happen together. And I would love to maybe see some of y'all in the self-care circle.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so here's my final question for you. It is Friday, aka Fri-YAY here at Little Shameless Plug. And I love listening to new to me music on a Friday. So what is a band or an artist or an album that you were like, oh my gosh, I wish someone knew about this?
Okay. My music has changed from, like, I love looking at my Spotify, like, hearted songs.
Yeah.
Because I think it goes all the way back to, like, 2014 or something. Has evolved so much to where, like, I don't know what's happening in the music world. I listen to, like, all this, like, esoteric, like, just dreamy kind of music, but I got something for you. Because there is a Durham band and electronic band duo, and I love listening to them. I love dance music, and they're called Sylvan Esso. Have you heard of them?
I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Like, I think they through my playlist somehow. Okay. Is there a specific song or album that I should seek out? Because what I love to do is like grab, like as in olden days, right, where you would like put on your CD or your tape and you would listen to it all the way through. I like to listen to it all the way through a couple of times just because I feel like as an artist, as a creative person, like having new experiences is part of what brings us joy. So is there one specifically?
I think their last album is called Parade.
Okay.
And so like everything that I've listened to of theirs, I love, and it is like it is a wave. Like it starts low and then you get really high and then you can just like kind of come back down.
I love it. I'm
and
so excited for this journey I'm going to go on today. Daria, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Yeah. It was great to talk to you.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Well, I will be definitely sharing Daria's Instagram profile, which is alifealigned.co. You can grab that once I post this, and you have until Sunday to join her self-care circle.
Do it.
Do it. As
you won't
always,
regret it.
You won't.
I'm so glad you did.
You won't. You. I never regret taking care of myself. I'll tell you that for sure. Stay social happy.
Yay.